did you turn down supplement deals too back in the day? It was all part of the shadow, but did you turn down some
I turned down the deal after the first night of champions, when I won the sum of $12,000 for second place. I mean, you know, $12,000 not a lot. I've got to pay my own airfare over to the States and put myself up in a hotel and this and that. So $12,000 was what I earned from professional bodybuilding at the point where Vince McMahon with the WWF or WWE as it became, professional wrestling, planned to start a professional bodybuilding circuit and contest. And he was about signing up all the, you know, guys that he could, right? And he was looking for different characters, different genre, like, you know, and they saw me at the Night of Champions second place, and they liked my look because it was very rugged, and you know, so we go, yeah, that guy would fit in this, you know, and then this guy. So they flew me out from Birmingham to Connecticut somewhere. It's where the studios are, where they make everything. So they flew me out first class. Never been first class before. Flew me out first class to New York. Tom Platz, who was the nearest thing to a hero of mine, was working for them. He picked me up at the airport and drove me to the offices. And these guys, you know, I met, I didn't meet Vince, but I met his wife, who's also very, you know, involved. I met some of the wrestlers, and I went around the whole TV station and seen the little dolls. And, you know, like, you see how big this is, professional wrestling. We're going to do this with professional bodybuilding, and we want you on board. And I think they offered me something like $150,000 a year for a 2 or 3 year contract. And I was living in Ladywood in Birmingham, which, what's Ladywood famous for? I think having the highest unemployment rate in Birmingham. I was living in a council flat there. I had the gym, which was giving me an okay income, like, you know, getting by, but that's it. And then $12,000 from Night of Champions. So here I am, they're offering me, this is a life-changing thing. This is getting out of the council estate and live in a nice house in the suburbs, you know, for my wife at the time, for my son, that would have been great for the family, change your life. So I asked my wife at the time, what do you think? And she's like, to her credit, she said, I'm not going to say anything. This is totally you. You've got to make this decision. You've got to be comfortable with it. So I don't have anything to say here. Oh, I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? If you want to be the best bodybuilder in the world, it's Mr. Olympia. That's the number one thing. And these new guys with the new federation, I asked them when I was there, I said, look, I consider myself to be an athlete, not an entertainer in any way. I'm an athlete, yeah, and I want to compete in contests against other athletes. So if you're seeing this as anything other than that, I'm not interested. You know, if it's going to be predetermined placings or something like that, or, you know, I've got to do crazy stuff and to entertain people and pretend I'm going to hate this guy or all that, that's not me. I cannot and will not do it. So they assured me that wouldn't be the case. It would be a serious contest. But I still had a bit of a doubt there about that. And plus the fact that Mr. Olympia is what it is. I called Tom Platz, and it was one of the hardest things I had to do, because I had to tell Tom Platz as well, who was like my hero. He wanted me on board. Like, Tom, listen, sorry, I thought about this and everything, and it's a great offer. Can, you know, really appreciate it, but I think I can be Mr. Olympia, and that's what I'm going to go for. So I'm going to stick it out right now. So that was a tough, to turn down all that money and everything for a very uncertain future was tough, but I went with this, you know?
Yeah.
And it was the correct decision.
You're a man of serious principles, Dorian.
Yeah, I like to think so.